And we're going live, yay! I'm here with Linda Morrison, and today we just decided, we had this great conversation just yesterday that was talking about the question, what do you stand for? And the really vital importance of, standing for something in your business, in the work that you do, and the difference it makes. Whether, if you went out to the world and you asked 50 people about you and your business, and these could be people who you know pretty well, and you ask them, do you know what I stand for? Could they give you a really clear answer? If you said, what does my business stand for? Would they know the answer to that question, or would they give you some kind of fuzzy, sounds sort of like this, feels like a rabbit, I don't know. So, Linda, I know you have lots to share on this particular topic. Let's talk about standing for something.
Yes, I really do. I mean, there's a lot of talk, a lot of study about your business, about who's your avatar, and what are you going to say to them, and have you done your copy, and are you in charge of this, that, and the other? Have you got it all going on? But the best brands that we know are usually, we can say what they are in about 5 words, and it's usually an emotion. It's often an emotion. If you think about someone like Richard Branson, it's about freedom. No matter what he kind of does, it's about freedom, and it's possible. And if we're making sales in our business based usually on emotion, then what's this? A polarizing and inclusive feeling that your brand and your business is. And this has come up so much this week with all of my clients, and I've been developing and helping them to develop things like their mission statement, which is a bit dry and business-like, right through to their manifesto, which is much more, this is why I do this work, and getting right to that crux of the feeling that people are going to get when they come and work with you. And this is how I believe you truly stand out and do extremely well in your businesses, because people are buying into your thing, your style, your outcomes, your results that you will absolutely stand for. And that's been really captivating to all my new clients that haven't heard that about marketing before. To me, it's really fundamental, and possibly and probably why all of my businesses have done so well is that, here we do this. People like us do this, and we really stand for that. And often it's based on this real emotion, this fact that on my watch, I won't allow anything less than this outcome. Now, that could be to apply and to help people perhaps understand. If you're a financial advisor that looks after women, then you want them to hopefully thrive and, have abundance, and are very integral about standing and helping them with that. And then if you're a health coach who wants to help over 50 people lose weight, then on your watch you will give them the best tools and watch them to that end and that outcome, and know it's possible, show it's possible, and tell them why. That's your manifesto, your passion, and all those words. And it goes on. And for Brad and I, working with you guys, helping you guys get your message out there with these particularly effective tools such as audio and video, you're going to get really clear and straight to that market that you're actually wanting.
Yeah, I really love the concept of manifesto. And I've seen a few brands do this really successfully, where they literally come up with just a set of, we believe these things. It's like, we hold these truths to be self-evident. And this is, it's just super clear. And the truth is that people who are listening to all of this, they really do feel something. They do get caught up in the emotion. I mean, if they do actually believe in the same things, and they do agree that people like us do these things like this, then that's an emotional response. And there's nothing more powerful than soliciting and eliciting that kind of response in people. And you can do it in a variety of ways. You can do it simply by saying your set of we believe statements. And you can also do it by sharing stories about yourself that bring out your own values, stories about your family, stories about where you're from, and stories about the clients and the people who you work with. And this is, all of this can work extremely well to draw people in to that feeling, the feeling that they get when they interact with you and your business and your brand. And this work that Linda and I have been doing just in the last couple of months around helping people get their message out, particularly through this new format, which we're calling the audio sequence, like a short audio sequence that is really coming up with things like, what do I stand for? And what are the powerful gifts that I bring to the people who I work with? And this can easily get confused. Like Simon Sinek is really famous for his start with why. And while it can be a good thing to start there with your purpose and what you believe in most strongly, you really want to take it just slightly one step further and talk about start with why it matters to them. Like, why does your thing, like manifestos are great, but really go deep with stories and examples and whatever around, well, why does this matter to the people who you're talking to? And
100%.
this is the deepest thing, that sort of the level that you can take this to.
It's something, and I think a big mistake, that when we're thinking about those coaches, practitioners, even doctors that I've worked with, those types of people, they are already fully converted to why they're doing it and why it's important to everyone to sort of get on that train. But they do forget where the person is at that they're actually talking to. So all of the stopgaps or the objections or the reasons not for that person to thrive are so evidenced in their life. It's really hard for that person to actually step over those and get to your side, if you like. So I totally speak to that. And if I can give a couple more examples, and these are really big companies, I think of something that I really bought into, that I used to love to take my young children to. Now they're big kids now, and we don't so much go out in lockdown anymore. And unfortunately, this business has had to shift. But it's Cirque du Soleil. I think manifesto was, we will bring you the best people that can hang upside down, do the trapeze, go round in circles in the world. We don't care where they're from, and we will bring them to you, and it will be the greatest show on earth. And it always was. And I did spend several hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars taking my children to that when they were in town, because we knew it was going to be the best thing ever. And there was people, the collaboration was that there was people from all over the world that could do that thing the best. And you got to see it. That's fascinating to me. And to me, that's a manifesto. That's we don't care where these people are from. We've sourced them, and they are under this, literally under this umbrella that we've just created today, sometimes depending on where they had these events. And that is, like, to me, it's a real connected manifesto. The same with this Apple business. We're going to bring the best of the technology to you. Even if you can't use technology, we'll bring it into your pocket and we'll make it part of what you are. These are amazing visions. And I think, and I believe, that the people that we're working with and we will work with every day moving forward want this. They want their special thing to be the thing that's going to change and improve the lives of their customers.
Yeah, I think Apple is probably the best known and understood brand that has done this so well. I mean, everyone remembers, the competition in the early days between Apple and Windows, and how Apple just had brilliant branding around concepts like thinking different and standing up against the status quo and positioning themselves as separate from these large, IBM like corporations that were faceless and felt less than
Yes,
human. And here
yes.
was this small, scrappy startup called Apple where you could join in and be part of this new revolution. And their main purpose was we're going to make this, we're going to bring like super great, fantastic technology and we're going to put it in your hands. And we're going to give it to you in a way that you don't have to be a geek in order to be able to use it. Like you can just do it. And you can use these tools to empower and power whatever project, product, mission, work that you have in mind to do. And that was a very powerful message, and it still exists. I mean, it's why Apple has rabid loyal fans who literally line up a day ahead
Yes.
every time a new product comes out, which is so different than all of their competitors.
100%. I remember saying that in our early family lives. So why do we have so many iPads? She's like, what's going on here? Like, how did this happen in our
Yeah,
lives?
right.
But that emotion really is your ability to connect. I mean, and that's a human thing, and this is what we're finding right now, and absolutely why behind talking to you guys again today and helping you is that the spoken word through your audio and your video is how you connect with your people at the moment. This is how we are able to do it. And you're immediately global. You don't need to think about your geographical area. You have a business that is global. So if 100 viable or 1,000 viable clients is all you need to have a brilliant business that's absolutely buoyant and abundant, then there's a few people in the world and we'll be able to help you to find them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And if you're watching this and you're interested in working on this, working on your own manifesto, working on your messaging so that it's super clear, and then being able to distribute it, to actually get it to the people that follow you and or the new prospects that you would like to meet in a way that they will be much more likely to consume, then Lynn and I have created this new free training that is just for you. And it's called the Big Reach Audio Guide. And it's basically going to walk you through this process of how do you take the really cool stuff inside your head and communicate it through a private podcast. Like this is different than having to go the whole 9 yards of creating a weekly show and doing a podcast that goes on forever. This is something that you can create just one time, and you can do it for a short binge-worthy set of 6 to 8 episodes that contain these elements, that contain the things that you believe in, that contain the parts where you are talking directly to your ideal prospects and explaining, like showing them clearly through your stories and through your examples why this matters to them, why this is so important, and actually enrolling them by communicating emotion and feeling in this audio presentation that you create that, that matters, like why they should come along for the ride with you and get involved with this work that you will be doing together. And this is, I think, revolutionary. I mean, there's a shift now, like people have been so busy and with a sense of overwhelm. And in this past year, we've been forced to going to Zoom meetings and sitting down in front of virtual conference sessions that people are just feeling like, oh, this free content that's coming in the form of a Zoom presentation or a long hour and a half long webinar, it doesn't matter to me how good it is. I just don't have the time or inclination to sit through that kind of presentation. So when you make one of these short, bingeable podcast series, these private podcast series that they can get on their phone, they can listen to it on their own time. They can listen to it while they're doing other things. They can listen to it while they're driving their car or taking their kids to school or doing whatever it is that they do in their normal way of having a busy life, and they can still be enrolled in the work and with the solutions that you provide for them. So that's the Big Reach Audio Guide. It's free. And if you want it, say so in the comments. I want the audio guide. And we'll drop the link in for you to go and get it.
Perfect. Wonderful. Can't wait to see who wants to consume that and their feedback as well. So we'd like to know, how that feels, what questions you have. And even if you say, hey, listen, I don't know what questions to ask, but I know I've got a couple. Then talk to us, because quite often that can happen. What is wonderful about creating a lead magnet that is audio is that you have recorded it once, you've done it, and it keeps on going around and around and around the entire world to be able to help people. And you'll be connected to people that you're not even, really realizing how they even perhaps got the link, because you've made it. It's been shared by someone who loves them perhaps, or they've got it from your social media, but there you are influencing and connecting and helping people with something you've created once, which we all like.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, comments down below, say audio guide, and we'll connect with you, or just send us a DM. I love DMs. And so does Linda. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. So long.